Hello friends. Have you ever wondered what truly lies behind the personality of someone born on January 4th? Beneath the calm, disciplined surface of this Capricorn soul burns a quiet fire of ambition, loyalty, sensuality, and surprisingly deep emotional complexity. Today, we're diving deep into the cosmic blueprint of January 4th individuals, analyzing their love lives, career paths, compatibility, and even their energy through alternative astrology systems like the Celtic Druids, Vedic astrology, flower and stone horoscopes, and numerology. So let's unfold the star map written in their DNA. Core astrological identity, January 4th Capricorn. People born on January 4th are quintessential Capricorns, deeply aligned with the grounded, disciplined energy of this earth sign. But what makes this date unique is how seamlessly it fuses Saturn's influence with the vibrational steadiness of the number 4. Saturn, often called the taskmaster of the Zodiac, bestows a serious, methodical personality, someone who sees life not as a game of chance, but a calculated mission. Meanwhile, the number 4, symbolizing stability, order, and work ethic, deepens this cosmic cocktail into a personality that thrives on building things that last. These individuals have a natural sense of responsibility from an early age. They're the type who felt 40 years old at 14, wise beyond their years, with an uncanny understanding of consequence and future planning. They don't just dream, they design. Think of them as the engineers of the Zodiac, both literal and metaphorical. They're constantly creating blueprints, for their careers, their relationships, even for how they plan to evolve emotionally. They aren't driven by fame or flash but by the satisfaction of seeing their plans unfold as intended. Emotionally, these Capricorns are measured, self-controlled, and goal-oriented. They're not ones to overshare or wear their hearts on their sleeves. Instead, they move through life with a quiet intensity, always observing, always strategizing. And while they can come off as stoic or overly practical, those close to them know that behind their cool exterior is a deeply loyal, fiercely protective soul who never gives up on those they love or the goals they believe in. Love and romance, the loyal strategist. Love for a January 4th Capricorn is never impulsive, it's intentional, thoughtful, and often arrives later in life. This isn't someone who rushes into passion or follows a fleeting crush. Instead, they analyze compatibility, weigh emotional risks, and often keep their feelings private until they're absolutely sure. To them, love isn't a whim, it's a long-term investment, something to nurture and protect. They are searching for a partner, not a fling, a builder like themselves, someone who sees love as the foundation for a shared future. Their romantic ideal is someone who respects their ambitions, not someone who feels threatened by them. A partner who understands that their work ethic is not a distraction, but a form of devotion, because in their eyes, providing stability is love in action. These Capricorns are protectors at heart. Once they commit, they are reliable, nurturing, and affectionate, offering their partner not just emotional support but material and strategic support as well. They'll plan your vacation, balance the budget, and remember your doctor's appointment, all while holding your hand through life's storms. Yet their emotional needs are often overlooked. Despite their strength, they deeply crave a partner who can see past the stoic surface and connect with the emotional depths hidden underneath. They need someone who can be patient with their guarded nature, and who understands that vulnerability doesn't come easily to them. But when that bond is built, they offer a rare kind of love, grounded, unwavering, and incredibly mature. They become a rock, unshakable in their commitment. Best romantic matches. Taurus, these two earth signs create a deeply rooted relationship based on shared values, love of comfort, and mutual respect. Both value loyalty, hard work, and a stable home, making this a classic match. Virgo, practical yet nurturing, Virgo provides the attention to detail Capricorn secretly craves. Together, they create a love that's structured, deep, and incredibly functional, with just enough heart to warm the logic. Scorpio, while they may clash at first, Scorpio's emotional depth draws Capricorn out of their shell, while Capricorn's strength and stability calm Scorpio's inner turbulence. The result is a partnership that burns slow but intense. Pisces brings creativity and compassion to Capricorn's world, while Capricorn offers grounding and structure to Pisces' dreaminess. Together, they're a yin-yang duo of heart and strategy. Challenging matches. Aries' fiery impulsiveness and need for speed often clash with Capricorn's calculated pace. What Aries sees as spontaneity, Capricorn may see as recklessness. Leo, both strong personalities, but Leo's craving for attention can feel self-centered to Capricorn, who values humility and results over ego. They may admire each other, but often fail to connect emotionally. Gemini, playful and curious, Gemini can seem unreliable to Capricorn. Their inconsistent energy and flirtatious nature may unsettle Capricorn's desire for reliability and purpose. Sex and intimacy, the quiet storm. You might not guess it at first glance, but beneath the composed and even conservative exterior of a January 4th Capricorn lies a deeply sensual, intensely physical being. Sex for them is never casual. It's a deeply intimate act, one that only unfolds fully in the presence of emotional trust, consistency, and mutual respect. In the early stages of a relationship, they may come across as hesitant or overly restrained, but this is just part of their protective nature. They don't open up to just anyone. Once they do feel safe, emotionally and intellectually, their sensuality becomes a slow-burning flame. They take their time. Every gesture is intentional. They aren't about performance or showy displays. Instead, their approach to physical love is about intensity, depth, and longevity. They study their partner's preferences, pay attention to subtle cues, and aim to create a space where both can explore safely. And while they may not be the most verbally expressive lovers, their physical presence speaks volumes. They give, they adapt, they protect. But here's the secret few see coming: once you've truly earned a January 4th Capricorn's trust, you unlock a surprising side of them, adventurous, experimental, and highly attuned. Their earthy sensuality isn't shy, it's refined. They value touch, rhythm, and the emotional gravity of physical connection. They become a partner who not only satisfies but elevates the experience, turning intimacy into a form of wordless communication. They don't just love with their bodies, they love with their whole being. Marriage and long-term commitment, building castles together. Marriage for those born on January 4th isn't just about romance, it's a life project, a mutual investment, a legacy built brick by brick. They approach long-term commitment with the same meticulous care and planning they bring to every other part of life. For them, a marriage isn't about fireworks, it's about building a home that's hurricane-proof. This doesn't mean they're unromantic, on the contrary, they see deep romance in stability, reliability, and shared growth. A candle at dinner is nice, but helping you with your taxes? That's love. They are incredibly selective about who they marry. Not because they're overly picky, but because they won't step into a lifelong partnership with someone who doesn't share their values, goals, and vision for the future. Marriage, in their eyes, is a contract of the soul. They want a partner who is emotionally mature, financially responsible, and aligned with their long-term thinking. These Capricorns thrive in relationships where both partners are in it together, not just emotionally, but logistically, strategically, and even professionally. Once married, they become fiercely loyal, consistent, and nurturing partners. They're not the type to grandstand their love, but they'll show it every day in countless small, meaningful ways, remembering the things that stress you out, making plans for your future, staying by your side even during the most difficult times. They also tend to be natural providers, often carrying the emotional and financial weight of the household without complaint. Their challenge lies in remembering that emotional connection is just as important as structure, and that vulnerability is not weakness, but the glue that makes their commitment even stronger. Friendship, loyal, selective, and low-key hilarious. If you have a January 4th Capricorn as a friend, consider yourself lucky. They don't make friends casually or collect acquaintances for fun. For them, friendship is a sacred bond, not a social contract. They build their inner circle slowly, carefully, and usually for life. When they let someone in, it's because they see something real: integrity, consistency, depth. And once you're in their orbit, you have a friend who will show up for you, not just when things are easy, but when the world is falling apart. They aren't the loudest or flashiest in a group, but their loyalty is unmatched. If you call them at 2 a.m. with a crisis, they're the ones who'll answer. They may not text every day or flood your DMs, but they never forget you. They remember your goals, your allergies, your favorite tea. They're thoughtful in quiet ways, dropping off soup when you're sick, helping you move without needing to be asked, backing you up in a conflict even if it costs them something. And here's the plot twist: once they're comfortable, their humor shines. January 4th Capricorns often have a dry, sarcastic wit that catches people off guard. Their observational humor is razor-sharp, intelligent, and laced with just the right amount of cynicism. They may not be the life of the party, but they're often the reason someone at the party is snorting with laughter in the corner. They're incredible listeners, deeply intuitive, and give advice that could double as therapy. The only catch? Betray their trust, and it's incredibly difficult, sometimes impossible, to earn it back. Career and business: born to lead, built to last. If you want to see a January 4th Capricorn in their natural habitat, look no further than the boardroom, the studio, the startup launchpad, or anywhere that strategy meets execution. These people were built for achievement. Career is not just a part of life for them, it's a core identity. Not because they're obsessed with money or status, though they won't say no to either, but because work gives them purpose, structure, and a way to turn potential into legacy. They don't dream idly, they build with vision. Their natural instincts include long-term planning, discipline, and an uncanny ability to spot risks before others even see them coming. Whether they're managing a team, running a business, or quietly excelling in a technical field, they don't cut corners. Integrity is non-negotiable. They believe in earning their stripes and have little patience for people who chase shortcuts or praise without putting in the work. If you're on their team, you'll work hard, but you'll learn from the best. January 4th Capricorns excel in careers where order, logic, and measurable outcomes are key. Think finance, law, engineering, architecture, medicine, project management, or entrepreneurship. But they're also natural problem solvers, which makes them surprisingly good in creative industries too, especially those requiring structure and leadership, like film production, publishing, or branding. Their real superpower? Delayed gratification. They'll suffer the short-term discomfort of late nights, thankless tasks, or slow progress, if it means reaching a long-term goal that matters. However, their career drive can sometimes tip into workaholism. They struggle to rest, often linking their self-worth to their productivity. Burnout is a real danger for them, especially when they suppress their emotional needs in favor of performance. To stay balanced, they need grounding relationships, hobbies that have nothing to do with success, and moments where they allow themselves to just be. Because while their legacy matters, they matter more. Compatibility, soulmates, allies, and cosmic friction. When it comes to romantic and interpersonal compatibility, January 4th Capricorns are not swept away by chemistry alone. They look beyond butterflies and ask, can we build something real together? Stability, loyalty, and emotional maturity top their list of must-haves in any meaningful relationship, whether it's romantic, platonic, or professional. Their most compatible partners are those who respect their structure, admire their work ethic, and are emotionally consistent. With fellow Earth signs like Taurus and Virgo, there's an unspoken understanding, a shared love of planning, home comforts, and reliability. These matches feel natural, like puzzle pieces clicking together. With water signs like Scorpio or Pisces, the emotional contrast can spark profound growth. Water brings sensitivity and spiritual insight to Capricorn's pragmatism, and Capricorn offers grounding in return. These unions often evolve slowly, but become incredibly deep over time. However, Capricorn's compatibility isn't always smooth sailing. With air signs like Gemini or Libra, differences in pacing and priorities can cause conflict. Capricorn is about building, Gemini is about exploring. Libra seeks balance, while Capricorn seeks outcomes. And fire signs like Aries and Leo may find Capricorn too methodical or serious, while Capricorn sees them as impulsive or egocentric. That said, with mutual respect, even the most unlikely pairings can thrive, especially when both partners are willing to grow beyond their defaults. Best matches. Taurus, solid, sensual, loyal, this is a timeless, grounded love. They thrive on routine and share a deep appreciation for life's material and emotional comforts. Virgo, detail-oriented and emotionally supportive, Virgo keeps Capricorn sharp but softens them with thoughtful gestures. Scorpio, intensity meets endurance. These two form a powerful bond where loyalty runs deep and ambition is shared. Pisces, a blend of dreamer and builder. Pisces teaches Capricorn to feel more, while Capricorn teaches Pisces to focus and act. Challenging matches. Aries, dynamic but volatile. Aries acts first and thinks later, while Capricorn needs strategy. Impatience and ego clashes are common. Leo, both want control, but for different reasons. Capricorn prefers subtle leadership, Leo craves center stage. Mutual admiration can only go so far. Gemini, intellectual connection may exist, but lifestyle and values often don't align. Gemini's restlessness clashes with Capricorn's structure. Numerology, the master builder of destiny. In numerology, the number associated with January 4th is, unsurprisingly, 4, a number that symbolizes foundation, order, dedication, and precision. If numbers are energetic blueprints, then 4 is the engineer of the universe. People with this vibration are meticulous, loyal, and extraordinarily capable of turning ideas into reality. The number 4 energy doesn't just fantasize, it organizes. It takes the chaos of life and lays down rails for progress. Capricorns born on this day resonate strongly with this energy. They have an innate understanding of structure and systems, making them reliable in everything from finances to friendships. They often carry an inner sense of duty, not imposed by society, but born from within. They know that success isn't luck, it's methodology. That relationships don't last because of passion alone, but because of shared effort and commitment. The number 4 instills them with a moral compass and an inner voice that says, do it right, or don't do it at all. But like all numbers, 4 has a shadow side, rigidity, perfectionism, and an intolerance for unpredictability. January 4th individuals must guard against becoming so fixed in their ways that they leave no room for magic, spontaneity, or emotional intuition. Life isn't always a spreadsheet, and the most meaningful moments often arise from disorder. Their challenge? To learn that not all structures are meant to last, and sometimes, you have to tear down walls to let the light in. Druid horoscope, the birch tree. According to the Celtic Tree Zodiac, January 4th falls under the rule of the birch tree, the first tree of the Druid calendar. Birch is the tree of new beginnings, leadership, and vision. Those born under birch energy are natural trailblazers, quiet, focused, and often destined to be first in something. Just as the birch is the first tree to regrow after a forest fire, birch-born people embody resilience and rebirth. These individuals have a strong sense of purpose and identity, often from a young age. They're drawn to leadership roles, not because they crave power, but because they believe in direction, clarity, and forward motion. Their energy is both commanding and calming. They aren't loud leaders, they're guiding forces. They prefer to lead by example, and often succeed because they inspire quiet trust in those around them. In relationships, birch souls are loyal and steady, but emotionally reserved. They may struggle with vulnerability, preferring to prove love through actions rather than words. As friends and lovers, they are protectors, always looking out for others, often at the expense of their own emotional needs. Their sole lesson: to learn to receive as much as they give, and to understand that being supported is not a weakness, it's a necessity. Vedic astrology, Capricorn with a dash of Sagittarius. In Vedic astrology, also called Jyotish, many people born on January 4th fall under the sign of Dhanu Rashi Sagittarius or Makara Rashi Capricorn, depending on their exact birth time and year. This means they often sit on the cusp between philosophical fire and disciplined earth, blending ambition with spiritual insight. If born under Sagittarius in the sidereal system, these individuals carry an inner yearning for truth, exploration, and higher meaning. They're seekers, curious, restless, and deeply drawn to learning. When combined with the Western Capricorn energy, it creates a person who wants not just to build success, but to build it with moral purpose. They may pursue careers in teaching, philosophy, politics, or law, not just for status, but to shape the world. If born under Capricorn, the Vedic version aligns strongly with karmic responsibility, dharma sacred duty, and the need to earn success through discipline. These natives are mature beyond their years, often experiencing major life shifts early in life. Saturn, called Shani in Vedic astrology, brings both burden and brilliance. Those born under this energy are old souls, here to learn through effort, patience, and inner resilience. Their life path often includes spiritual awakening through hardship, and when they embrace their deeper truth, they become wise teachers and protectors in their communities. Flower horoscope, the carnation. The symbolic flower for those born on January 4th is the carnation, a bloom that represents devotion, loyalty, and eternal love. Often underestimated, the carnation is hardy, beautiful in its simplicity, and enduring through every season. Much like the January 4th Capricorn, it may not be the flashiest, but it stands tall through time and change. Different colors of the carnation reveal layers of this person's emotional world. Red carnations symbolize deep love and admiration, reflecting the Capricorn's quiet passion. White carnations represent purity and good intentions, echoing their moral backbone. And pink carnations speak to gratitude and maternal care, mirroring their strong sense of duty to those they love. In relationships, carnation energy is about showing up again and again, through good times and bad. It doesn't wilt easily, and neither does the love of someone born under this flower. This makes them incredibly reliable and emotionally consistent, though they may struggle to express their own desires unless invited to do so. Their lesson: to let their own needs bloom alongside the needs of others. Stone horoscope, garnet. The birthstone of January, garnet, is more than a beautiful gem, it's a symbol of vitality, grounding, and protective love. Garnet has long been associated with courage, regeneration, and deep emotional stability. For those born on January 4th, it acts as both a mirror and a shield, reflecting their inner strength while protecting their energy from emotional or energetic drain. Wearing garnet enhances Capricorn's ability to stay grounded during stress, make wise decisions, and lead from the heart. It's a perfect stone for someone whose life path often involves carrying weight for others, whether as a boss, a parent, or a loyal friend. Garnet reminds them to recharge, to take care of themselves, and to honor their own emotional truth, not just the roles they play for others. Energetically, garnet also enhances passion and creative drive. It may seem contradictory, pairing a serious Capricorn with a fiery red stone, but that's exactly the point. Garnet awakens their inner fire, urging them to live not just for goals, but for joy. It whispers, you don't have to earn everything. Some things you're allowed to simply feel. Life path summary and closing insight, the blueprint soul. A person born on January 4th walks through life with the poise of a seasoned architect, eyes set on the horizon, hands busy shaping each moment into something lasting. They aren't here for shortcuts or superficial pleasures. Their path is one of legacy over luxury, of depth over drama, and of purpose over popularity. They're old souls, perhaps born a bit earlier than their time, and they often feel the silent weight of responsibility pressing on their shoulders even in childhood. But make no mistake, this is not a burdened existence. It's a calling. January 4th Capricorns are born to build, people, projects, futures, and most importantly, themselves. They grow stronger through hardship, wiser through solitude, and softer through love. The universe often tests them, not to punish, but to polish, to refine their strengths and temper their resolve into something unbreakable. What others see as walls, they see as frameworks. Where others see endings, they begin again. Their greatest lessons in life revolve around balance, between control and surrender, effort and ease, giving and receiving. Because while they have the power to carry entire worlds on their backs, they deserve to lay some of that weight down too. They deserve softness, spontaneity, laughter, and light, not just the mountain, but the meadow. Not just the goal, but the moment. If you were born on January 4th, consider this your cosmic affirmation. You are not just a Capricorn. You are the master planner, the devoted partner, the grounded friend, and the timeless soul who can walk into any chaos and quietly begin to build a new beginning. But remember, your heart isn't a fortress. It's a home. You don't have to prove your worth by how much you carry. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do, is let someone else carry you for a while. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the January 4th Capricorn soul, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video about astrology, numerology, and the hidden energies that shape our lives. Share this with someone born on January 4th, they deserve to know just how powerful and unique they truly are. Check out the description for bonus links, compatibility charts, and more cosmic insights. See you in the next video.